With the call to order, regular council meeting of the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, the 6th day of April 2022 at approximately 7 p.m. Roll call, Councillor Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Young.
Yes.
Councillor Capel.
Yes.
Councillor Rutledge.
Yes.
Okay. All council is present. Adoption of the agenda resolution that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, adopt the agenda as submitted. Do I have a mover on that? Councillor Banks, seconder.
I'll second.
Councillor Rutledge, all in favor?
Yes. Yes.
And that's carried. Disclosure of peculiar interest with any of the matters before us tonight with any of the councilors. Councillor Capel.
Yes, I do, number 9 on financial report. Payment to, Coppell Scotia.
No, clerk. No delegations or presentations tonight. Adoption of the minutes. The resolution that we, the council for the corporation townships of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, hereby adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting of March the 2nd, 2022, special meeting of March the 16th, 2022, and special meeting of March the 30th, 2022. As circulated, I need a mover on that. Councillor.
I can move.
Councillor Capel, do I have a seconder? Councillor Banks. Any discussion, error or omissions from the minutes?
No, on my part.
No.
Okay, so hearing none, I'll call for the vote then. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's carried. We have reports on direction received, resolution that we, the council for the corporation township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, hereby accept the reports as circulated. I need a mover on that.
I can move.
Councillor Capel, Councillor Young. Any questions? So that would be in regards to 6.1. Staff reports. Staff report regarding ice water rescue services as requested. And then there's a staff report. Information report to council. Yes,
Would the mayor like any of these reports brought up, because your resolutions were on all the reports, is there any of the reports that you'd like to see, for example, the legal costs or the water rescue?
okay.
Would you like to see both of them or just one?
Would council like to see both of them?
I think we should, yes.
See both, okay. Yeah, I know the first one was kind of brought about a request from Councilor Rutledge, I believe. He had some concerns. So I believe some of the questions originated around about participating in an indirect rescue support role. Basically shore-based. Do you have any questions in regards to that, Councilor Rutledge?
I do when it comes in regards to buying a boat or whatever. Because we know with the OFF, when they change legislation from time to time, maybe boat today means something else tomorrow. And with the boat, then become a motor and then a trailer or something else. But our budget's fairly tight on for the fire department, but I'm probably concerned about it.
Okay. So I guess my response to that is the boat kind of comes a budget item. I think there was concern about how, and Jordan, you can help me out on this if you can. There's about the question of shore-based rescue and the reclassification of it, I believe.
So through the mayor, this report does explain the reclassification terminology that you will see in the new bylaw. As per level of service, within that, we will dictate that by our operating guidelines. There's nothing saying that we have to buy a boat today. This is how we would like to continue in the future if we wish to. And I will be running a report to council on that yet.
Okay. So does that answer your questions for now, Councilor Brennan?
For now, yes.
Okay. Okay, so we'll then go to 6.2, report on legal costs.
So through the mayor, as requested, several meetings with by council, a report we brought forward in regards to the investigations of code of conduct for the former council Blue Ribbon. So basically, it's pretty simple. The total cost of the investigations were $176,473.10, and the legal cost associated with both counselors for the court was $104,560.33 for the Blue file, and the Lithium file was $15,278.22.
So just shy of $300,000. Okay. So all those, I know I read the resolution, does council wish for me to read? Sorry,
So then it's the investigation fees were 176? And then the legal fees were plus the 176?
Correct, so it's a
Okay,
line
so
total.
you have to add the three of those three numbers together.
Correct.
Okay. So what's the total?
I just did it quickly, 296,311.65. It could be
296, what was
296,311.65.
Does this cost reflect the costs that were awarded in court to be repaid?
That would be a comparison that we could bring back, but the short answer is probably no.
Okay, so back to the resolution on the reports then, all those in favor? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's carried. So now down to correspondence, information items. The resolution says that the council for the corporation township of Brunel, Lindmark, Raglan accept the correspondence as circulated. I need mover on that. Councilor Felfeld and the seconder. Councilor Banks. Any discussion on any of the correspondence items you wish to separate out and discuss separately? And that goes all the way up to 712.
There's none on my part.
No, other,
There's none on my part.
I was just concerned about the one for the township of Vulture Valley for the fire services, like is that going to have any impact on our municipality, or have you discussed it here? What it's going to do to us, or?
So I know myself, there was a letter drafted and sent to, I signed this a while ago, but yes, we did address the situation.
Okay.
We sent a letter in regards to, so.
Okay, I was just wondering if it,
Yeah, we had addressed it and it was discussed previously
okay,
at the table, so.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
that was my only concern.
okay. So hearing no others, then all those in favor of the correspondence as given?
Yes,
yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's carried. Now down to business. Item 8.1. Shoreline Road Allowance, Crown Rapids Paddling Club Resolution. The Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby approve the draft survey regarding the purchase of the Shoreline Road Allowance by Crown Rapids Paddling Incorporated as submitted. I need a mover on that. Me, Councilor Banks, a second, Councilor Young. Any discussion on the matter? Seeing none, all those in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Yes. And that's carried. Item 8.2. Shoreline rollouts. The Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby approves the draft survey regarding the purchase of the Shoreline rollouts by James Goodard as submitted. I need a mover on that, Councilor. Councilor Crawford, seconder, Councilor Banks. Discussion, if any. Seeing none, I'll then call for the vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's carried. Yes.
This draft that came before you just now, that was the revised draft to match the original application, under your direction to go back and have the draft redone.
Item 8.3, spring meeting, Norfolk County Clerk Treasurers Association. The resolution says that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan approve the closure of the township office for the day on May 11th to allow staff to attend the Norfolk County Clerk Treasurers Association spring meeting. I need a mover on that. Councilor Young, secondary, Councilor Banks. Any discussion on the matter?
We will advertise that, so people will be aware. Yes.
All those in favor?
Yes.
That's carried. Item 8.4, County of Renfrew Planning Services Agreements. That the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan review the draft planning services agreement and provide comments to the municipal manager by April the 25th, 2022. I need a mover on that. Councilor Banks, and need a second. Councilor Rutledge. Any questions on the planning services agreements at this time? Basically, review and provide comments to the municipal manager, so.
So is it, I mean, like the fees that people request the county for, does the municipality pay it, or is this only for the municipality? I read it, but I kind of,
So basically, this is fees charged by the county to do services for the municipality.
okay,
And it basically lays out, you know, what the county will do as our
Mhm.
planning authority, so.
I thought at one point in time that they used to give us a certain amount of planning services, like a monetary value for a year that would be because through our county levy, so that's all gone by the wayside.
I think for the mayor, this is referring to pay what the applicant pays.
Oh, okay,
And there is some fees that or services that we do get.
yes. So this is the applicant that would pay these fees.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then I wasn't sure. So then they would come here, maybe periodically, and taxpayers could come in to see them, right?
As far as the county, they would basically go to the county office for county business normally.
Okay,
The county is willing to come and discuss this, but they do want to get this through. So basically, this is your chance as a counselor to have some questions and bring them back by the 25th, so we can pass them on
Okay.
to the county,
okay,
which is basically giving you notice that we want to get them all together so that if we need to bring the county into the next meeting, we can.
Okay. So we get those questions into you by the 25th.
Correct.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor?
Yes.
Item 8.5. Easter event at the Grand Rapids Community Center. Resolution that the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch, and Raglan hereby approve the expenditure of $200 towards the fire department Easter activity on April 16, 2022 for event prizes, and further that Mayor Keller, Council Banks, Tuffle, and Rutledge attend the event. I need a mover on that, Councilor Yon. I need a second on that, Councilor Banks. Discussion of any on the resolution? Yes.
So just through the mayor, when we have one of these events that council is invited to, it's easier on the resolution if we put everyone in and we take them out if we don't want to be part of that.
Okay,
So, what council can do is if a councillor doesn't want to go, we can just take the name off now as opposed to writing names in later.
Yeah.
So then you would just do the resolution again, it's like a friendly amendment, where you're just erasing something.
I don't mind helping out as long as something doesn't come along that I can't come. That's the only thing. You know, I mean, I've always supported the stuff at the township arena there, so, I mean, I have no problem in coming. It's just that if something does happen, okay, on the 16th, I just can't make it.
So-
For the mayor, I think that's understandable.
Yes, exactly.
so Jordan, are you guys asking for help, or you just asking us to attend?
So through the mayor, I'm just asking for council's attendance.
Okay.
Support.
Plan on being
It's up to you. Is there any councilor wish to remove the name of this one?
there. No, I'll be there.
No, and as far as I can see, I'll be there.
Unless unforeseen circumstances.
That's right.
Exactly. Okay, so all in favor of the resolution then?
Yes.
Yes.
That's carried. Item 8.6. We have a resolution proposed Rogers Cell Tower, Letterkenny Road. That the municipal manager requests that Canadian Radio Communications and Notifications Service issue a letter of concurrence to Rogers Communications indicating the consultation process in regard to tower placement was completed as required under CBC 2-03. I need a mover on that. Councilor Banks, I need a seconder. Councilor Rutledge, any questions on the resolution? Questions, comments? None? It's kind of nice to see, maybe our first cell tower in the municipality outside. So I am aware of at least the possibility of another one. That location can be relayed at a future meeting, so.
I just noticed though on the map, I don't know where the map is, where that tower is located, isn't on John Watson Road or Rockingham Road. Am I
I
correct?
saw where it was.
Some confused, last time I had been off Letterkenny.
To me, by the map, it looks like it's on Letterkenny, but on the hill before you go down to Lake Warren.
That is correct. That is where the tower proposed location is, at the top of Furman Hill on that. I don't know why they-
So do you know why they stated Warren Robson Road and?
Well, yeah, it's Hedge. Like if you go down to, which one is it that I'm on? It shows John Watson Road and Rockingham Road, right there at the corner. But then, like you say, if you go down another one, yeah, it doesn't look like it's the same. Go down to the next picture.
'Cause I don't think
Rogers
you put
Public
two towers there.
package, I think it's under.
So is there clarification on where it is exactly?
Yeah, because if you look at the one, like you're right, if you look at the one map, you go around that sharp corner and you come to, I can come to the top of the hill, and if you go down a little bit further, past the second picture onto the third, you can see where it says John Watson Road and Rockingham Road.
So I think Andrew has something maybe.
So through the mayor, with the tower, what you're, voting on tonight is concurrence or agreement that they've followed the process correctly. You can approve that letter of concurrence and also ask that, Rogers provide clarification as to the location.
Okay.
And actually, I know that Rogers will have an email to me probably tomorrow morning in that clarification, because I'm there, I can see Rogers is online, so. I'm sure I'll leave that. So it's the concurrence, concurrence means that only means that they follow the process. It doesn't mean you like cell towers, doesn't mean you don't like cell towers, it means they follow the process. But council's question of clarification as to where it is a valid question. So you can add that to the resolution, or you can just give staff direction to contact Val and get clarification.
Well, it's nice for the public to know, is it?
Where is it gonna go? Yes,
Is it-
because if you look at the map you're talking about, well, like I say, by Gorman Lake there, it does say John Watson Road and Rockingham Road. And then, like I say, if you go down a little bit further, it actually shows you the corner of Rockingham Road and John Watson Road. Right there. Oh, is that right?
Yes. That is the problem.
That
Okay,
almost
so-
looks like the.
So I think direction is,
Your worship, I have two comments here in the chat. 3115 Letterkenny Road.
And just for council's information, this is Rogers giving us that information.
okay.
So I told him, I told council it would be tomorrow, but he's today's.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got clarification. So does council wish to support the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's carried. Item 8.7, there's no resolution with it, it's just information for council. It's Nelson Granite Columbia. Yes.
So I can speak to council. One of the councilors actually asked me a question about that system. And I just thought I'd provide council with some information.
Can I just say something now? So this came to my mind. This, how do you say this? Columbarium?
Yes.
Columbarium, that's how you
Yeah.
talk. But anyways, John had mentioned it Dan before me. But it came to my mind because we've had so many deaths in our municipality in the last year or two. And it made me think about a person's cremated remains. You know, what families are doing with them, if they don't belong to a religious organization of sorts. So I thought of the columbarium. And this is a granite monument, so I kind of looked into it, that houses cremated remains. So I'm not sure if there's grants out there for projects like this, or how much it would cost. It would depend, I know, on the size of the structure we erect. It would be like purchasing a plot. There's a picture of it up there. I mean, there's all different kinds. But I know we talked about cemeteries last year and had a couple of abandoned ones. I would still like to see these looked into. We should be taking responsibility for those out of respect. And it's a principle of the thing. I think it's our moral obligation, so I don't know if we can get something done with those cemeteries this year. I know there's one out on Shimon's Road. I think there was one up here too.
I know, and
So through the mayor, I've had this company do presentations to councils before. They're quite willing to do it, and certainly we can do a Zoom presentation. There is an advantage, especially for small communities with limited space in cemeteries. Because as you look there, you're looking at an 8-foot structure, which is basically taking up the space of one internment or many internments, because you have basically drawers on either side.
it's,
And certainly the expectation would be that costs come down. So if council would like, and I don't think I need direction because I just brought this for his information. We can contact Nelson Granite, and I'm sure they would do a presentation to council and a pricing for council.
And just for councils, and I guess just a question, I mean, so we do have I believe, 3 cemeteries that's part of the municipalities, so we would still be allowed to do something like this on those, correct?
So through the mayor, I don't know the ownership of all your cemeteries. This also is a benefit for churches that own cemeteries to see the presentation, because they may do that themselves. It's more of bringing information forward to council, even what we presented here, because I put the video on and everything on, certainly people are looking at.
Yeah, and I know for a fact, I know this same information come to our church council a number of years ago. So,
So it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to go in a cemetery. Does it?
It's my understanding that it does have to be in a cemetery.
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of like interring a body, you're putting the ashes
that's right.
in there, and it'll be, would they put an engraving on the end of the drawer then?
So similar to interment where with the burial, you don't have to have a headstone if you don't want a headstone. So if the family just wanted to put it into the box and maybe down the road, put the engraving in, that could possibly be something too.
Mhm.
So again, we can talk about it, but I can get the information from the company and pricing so that council's aware
And the drawers would be sealed.
that you can't break it.
And I think they do offer that little plaques that they can
Yeah.
put on.
Mhm.
But my concern, if it goes into a specific cemetery,
Mhm.
you have to belong or be in that congregation in order to go into one of these.
Actually, that's, and speaking to that, I think that's actually, any person who can actually apply to any cemetery, and it doesn't matter your denomination.
That's good. Because that's just my whole outlook, is that it should be available to anybody and everybody.
Does council wish to have staff for more information?
I definitely would like that.
There you go.
We don't have a resolution on this, and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's kind of direction to staff, right, and all the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. Item 8, Renfrew County Council Summary, and there's a council summary with it. That's for council's information. Any members of council have any questions from it?
I thought it was quite interesting to receive a report like that.
It's something that the county has, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but they haven't been doing it forever, but it was kind of a decision that they thought would be a good idea, because a lot of the local councils like to know what's going on, there, you know, at the county, so.
So we won't hear from you anymore?
We'll see. Maybe on the highlights. We'll see. But no, it's a good idea. I mean, it has some information for council to review. If they do have any questions on them, you're more than welcome to ask. So, yeah. We have no information on item 9. And we're down to bylaws. Item 10.1. Bylaw. So the resolution says that council for the corporation in the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 282218, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lindach, and Raglan, and Murray Gallagher, with addition of a clause within the bylaw that would allow the extension of the bylaw by resolution. I'm gonna move on that. Councilor
I can move.
Alphonse, do I have a second?
No,
Councilor Banks. Discussion on, if any, on the resolution. No? All in favor
yes,
Yes.
then? Okay, that's carried. Item 10.2. That Bylaw 2019 to adopt a feedback management policy. The council for the corporation of the township of Rudnell, Linddock, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2022-19 to their bylaw to adopt a feedback management policy. And mover on that, Councilor Yon and Councilor Rutledge. Any questions on the resolution?
No.
On the feedback management policy? Call for the vote then, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
And that's carried. Item 10.3. That council for the corporation of the township of Rudnell, Linddock, and Raglan hereby accepts the draft human resources policy in principle and directs staff to bring the bylaw 2022-20 to the May 4th, 2022 regular meeting of council once the guidelines have been completed. Mover on that, Councilor Banks, seconded, Councilor Rutledge. Any questions on the adoption of the human resources policy?
Item 3. When we discussed this, there was supposed to have been some changes in it, and they weren't, I don't see them on that policy. One was the day after New Year's as a holiday. The other one was Remembrance Day and 6 weeks older.
Did you make note of what page that was on, John?
Right, exactly, look. Somewhere,
Yes, Andrew?
So through the mayor, the clerk is making note of that, and with the resolution you're passing, it's that it's in principle and that it will be brought back so that those corrections can be made.
Okay. So should those corrections be, or at least what council's concerns are, be addressed here so that staff can take notes? And
The clerk has already recorded that, so
Okay.
we can put that into the bylaw, and again, you're just passing the principle, these are the 10 recommendations.
yes, okay, thank you. Any other
So I'm just a
concerns?
little confused, so when John brings that to the table,
Mhm.
it's passed? Or,
It will be a corp, sorry. Go ahead.
So through the mayor, because we just put this information in, it'll be incorporated into the document. So tonight you're passing in principle. When the document's completed with the changes that Councilor Rutledge has suggested, then you would vote on the document as complete. So right now, you're just saying we agree with it in principle, but there's still some work to do.
All those in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
yes, as long as I'm seeing it, it's like,
And then we look forward to the next review meeting before the bylaws. passed. So that's carried then. Item 10.4. That the council for the corporation of the township of Rudnell, Linddock, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2022-21 be the bylaw to adopt a tax collection policy. I need a mover on that. Councilor Yon, need a seconder, Councilor Rutledge. Any discussion on the resolution? On the tax collection policy?
this is basically a lot of just legislation requirements. Most of it anyway, so.
Yep.
You do notice that it's a draft on it right now, and it does have to go for legal review.
Yeah.
But if you pass it as it is, then you can send it to legal review once instead of doing it twice.
Any more questions? All those in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
yes.
That's carried. Item 10.5. Resolution says that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Rudnell, Linddock, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2022-22 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 8708 of the former townships of Rudnell, Linddock as amended. I need a mover on that. Councilor Yon, need a seconder. Councilor Rutledge. If there's any questions on this one? No, so I'll call for the vote, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
And that's great. So we have no closed session tonight, down to confirmation bylaw. The council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindmark and Moraine hereby adopts bylaw 223, being a bylaw approving proceedings of the April 6, 2022 regular meeting of council. I need a mover on that. Councillor Banks, second, Councillor Calpa. All in favor?
Yes.
That's carried. And that this meeting adjourned at approximately 7:38 PM. And all I need is a mover on that. Councillor Young. All in favor?
Yes.
yes.
And that's carried.